Yes, we're good. All right, council, y'all ready? All right. Good evening. It's my pleasure to convene the town council meeting for this Tuesday, April the 11th. And it's good to see everybody here tonight. Our agenda has been published and is before you. Item number one is prayer led by Chaplain Laura Bowman, be followed by the Pledge of Allegiance led by Councilman Gary Santos. So please stand. Chaplain? Have to reach down, turn it on.
Let us pray. Dear sovereign ruler, we thank you. We thank you for this beautiful seasonal weather. We thank you for this opportunity to meet, and we thank you that we live in a place and in a time where we are free to meet and discuss and learn from each other, and that we are free to move forward as a community. We pray that civility will be the word of the night, that you will calm our hearts and open our minds that we might hear and understand what others are saying. We ask you to bless this meeting, bless the leaders on the council and our mayor and the people in attendance. And we ask all this under your sacred care. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Thank you, Chaplain. Thank you, Councilman Santos. Item 3 is approval of the agenda. Do
Move
we
to
have a
approve.
Second.
motion to approve in a second? Is there any discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 All right, the agenda is approved. Item 4 is public hearings, awards, and presentations. Item A has been deferred due to an illness in our newly selected judge's family. So please keep our new judge, Kelly Young, in your thoughts and prayers, and we look forward to swearing her in at our next meeting. Item B is a public hearing to receive input on a proposal to amend the Town of Mount Pleasant Code of Ordinances. This basically has to do with bringing together our livability aspects of our code, and I will turn it over to Ms. Reed.
Thank you, Mayor. That pretty much covered it. This is the public hearing portion. You will hear more about this later in the context of the rest of the amendments. In particular, this pertains to Chapter 155, Land Development Regulations, which does require public hearing before Town Council. And the specific change for this section is to correct the title to Engineering and Development Services. So this is just for a title change. And I'm happy to answer questions you may have.
Okay. Any questions from the council? Is there anyone here to comment on this? And you are able to comment on this in the public hearing and in public comments on the regular meeting. Anyone? All right, I am required by law to close this public hearing with the gavel. So this public hearing, which is item 4B, is closed. Now we have another one, which is to receive input on the proposed Town of Mount Pleasant municipal budget for our fiscal year that begins July 1. You will see that we'll be voting on this later. That is not the final form of the budget. We in committees have already come up with some recommendations to change it. This will just be, not in this part, but later, first reading that gets it officially in the channel towards approval. So Ms. Kotal.
Yes, sir. This is a public hearing on the proposed fiscal year 2024 Mount Pleasant budget pursuant to Section 6-1-80 of the South Carolina Code of Laws. The proposed budget is in the amount of $161,470,329, and it is based on a total millage rate of 43.3 mils.
All right, thank you very much. Any questions from members of council? Is there anyone here to make a comment in public comment on, in the public hearing on this budget? Anyone? All right, as with the last time, I'm required to close this public hearing by pounding the gavel. This public hearing is closed. Item 5, approval of the minutes.
Move for approval, Mr. Chairman.
We have a motion to approve the minutes that are listed on the agenda, and we have a second. Is there any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, the minutes are approved unanimously. Item number 6 is public comment. If you're here to speak, please come forward when your name is called. We have a timer. By ordinance, you have 2.5 minutes. Please give your name and address for us. Thank you very much. Mr. Demore.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First speaker is Jermaine Powell.
You come forward, please. I'm sorry. And name and address, please. Thank you.
Hello, how you doing? Hey, my name is Jermaine Powell. I was just here today just to come to the meeting. This is my first meeting that I'm attending, so I was just trying to come to the meeting to see if there's anything that was brought to my attention that I would have just spoken on. I don't know. Like I said, it's the first meeting, so I was just interested in what was going on. And if it's something up that's come to my attention, I would gladly speak on it. That was all.
Nice to have you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Next is Stuart Whiteside.
Thank you. Stuart Whiteside with Seaman Whiteside and Associates, 501 Wando Park Boulevard, Mount Pleasant. I'm here representing Charleston Harbor Resort and Marina and their application for the amendment to the Patriots Point PD. That's under 8A1 on the agenda. Council over the last several years worked real hard to develop the new comprehensive plan, which determined locations throughout the town that were suitable for hotel development, of which Patriots Point is one. The Charleston Harbor Resort and Marina has had a positive impact on the town of Mount Pleasant for over 20 years. They pay accommodations to the taxes to the town and fees to PPDA, which allow for the long-term maintenance of the Yorktown and other features at the Patriots Point. There's a little bit of confusion along the way on the history of the zoning of the site. The site was originally zoned PD with no uses. A PD was first approved in 1997. We were actually involved with that project 25 years ago. Since that time, it's been amended several times. Notably, in March 2000, the amendment allowed for the existing hotel, the first hotel, as well as the following uses for parcels B, C, and D. It allowed for 100,000 square feet of retail, 30,000 square feet of restaurants, 50,000 square feet of entertainment space, 25,000 square feet of office, 175 residential condominiums, the marina, and 100 additional hotel rooms. Parcel E at the time had a separate PD. So you see there was a very dense development proposed in 2000. And those are the fees, the densities that the developers paid for the improvements when Patriots Point Boulevard was widened to 4 lanes years ago. They paid a contribution based on those lists of improvements. In June 2011, the PD was amended to add the last 92-room hotel. That was done, which was completed several years ago. At that time, there was still available land for development, but that was not included in the PD. Charleston Harbor Resort and Marina is now looking at 133 rooms to the resort to diversify their offerings. They will manage the new rooms through the existing hotel facilities and back of house. As staff has indicated before in the other meetings, parking is efficient and the project meets the town requirements. And PPDA has also pledged their support for the project. And we're here for any questions should you have them during the presentation.
Thank you. We'll wait till the agenda.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Matthew
Next,
Demeyers.
please.
Hello, Matthew Demeyers, 333 Fairway Drive, New Orleans, Louisiana. I'm here for item 8A2, and I'm the applicant for this first reading and just wanted to be present in case you had any questions during the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you.
TJ Watkins.
Mr. Mayor, Town Council. Thank you. TJ Watkins, 1145 Johnny Dodds. I'm here with Enterprise Rent-A-Car, and we are item 8A3, asking for a rezoning of that property to be AB2, which would suit our needs. And we think that's an industrial area that would probably suit the rental car business well. And been serving in Mount Pleasant area for 35 years, and we'd love to continue to serve as it continues to grow. And we'd appreciate you voting approval on that. And I will be here if you have questions during that part of the agenda. Thank you.
Andrea Parco.
I'm Andrea Parco and owner of 479 Long Point Road, which was Long Point Grill. Long Point Grill has been empty for 3 years since the pandemic, and we are with the Enterprise Group hoping that we can rezone from AB1 to AB2 so that we can have a nice, strong group in there and the building is not empty.
That's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Is there anyone who didn't have an opportunity to sign up who came to speak? All right. Thank you very much. That will close the public comment period. That was item number 6. Item number 7 is consent agenda items. There are no consent agenda items. That doesn't mean there was nothing we could agree on. There's just a certain classification for those items. Didn't want anybody to be scared of what they were in for tonight. So this brings us to section 8, section 8, which is planning. Ms. Reed.
Yes, sir. Thank you. So the first item before you tonight is an ordinance to amend the
Move to defer.
We have a motion to defer. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion to defer and a second. Any discussion? All right. All those in favor of the motion to defer, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Mr. Paglioni, do we need to specify the length of the deferral?
Mayor, unless you want to defer it past the next meeting, it will automatically be deferred to the next.
Thank you very much for clearing that up. Okay, we'll defer that and it'll be back for the next meeting. All right, that was item 1. Item 2.
Okay. This is an ordinance to rezone a 1.5 acre tract of vacant land located at the corner of Bowman Road and Hospital Drive. Here it is in the aerial. You can see it is recommended for town scale commercial in our comprehensive plan. It's currently zoned office professional, and you can see it's predominantly surrounded by office professional and then area-wide business district. So just a little bit of history here. When the Urban Corridor Overlay District then became the Boulevard Overlay District, the office professional was
Mayor,
allowed to have AB
I'd like
use.
to
Yes, sir.
make a motion
Okay.
to defer, to give us an opportunity to talk to East Cooper Hospital about the potential to have this site dedicated as a park representing all of the hospital workers who so diligently worked on our behalf during COVID.
Okay. Motion to defer. Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
So East Cooper is the current owner of the site? Is East Cooper Hospital?
Yes.
All right.
Is this is what East Cooper Hospital is proposing, that this gets rented for? Are they leasing this land?
No, they're going to sell it.
Okay.
It's under contract, contingent on.
They're still on it.
Correct.
All right. So the motion is to defer. It would, unless we specify, it would be back next month. All right. No further discussion. All in favor of the motion to defer, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Motion passes.
Okay. This is to rezone a 0.64 acre parcel on Long Point Road, located here at the corner of Shipping Lane and Long Point Road. It is designated for business and industry. It's zoned AB. It was zoned AB to AB, previously light industrial, so that they could have a restaurant, as
Move
you
to
heard.
approve.
Second.
Motion to approve. We have a second. Any discussion? All in favor of the motion to approve, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously.
First reading ordinance number 23010.
This moves us to item 4.
Yes, first is to annex and then to zone 1.5 acre tract of land on Ira Road. For context, it's I-526. It is adjacent to Abidawile.
Move to approve annexation and rezoning.
Second.
So that the motion is to approve items 4 and 5.
Yep.
And the second is for both?
And I'd like to speak on this when we're ready.
Okay. And your second is for both 4 and 5?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just to be clear. All right, so the motion is to approve the annexation, which is item 4, and the zoning, which is item 5. And just for clarification, this is currently, for lack of a better term, a junkyard,
Yes.
and it is in the county. We have no governance of it at all. Annex in, and it will become, we think, a restaurant site. That's what is proposed. So this would be a big improvement. Yes, sir, Mr. Chapman.
That's what I wanted to speak on.
okay.
The fact that I had been working since I've been on council with Charleston County to try to get rid of all these cars that are leaking their oil and everything else into the groundwater of the town. And so I'm very happy to say the last I heard, there was one car, Ms. Reed, left, which is a big improvement. But I think by having a restaurant there, it'll be really nice.
Okay.
Good location.
Any other discussion? All in favor of the motion to approve items 4 and 5, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Both are approved.
This first reading of ordinances 23014 and 23015.
Okay. Item number 6, please.
Yes, sir. This last item is a series of amendments to various code sections. It's all related to livability. Some of these things we've
Move
already
to
started.
approve. Second.
We have a motion to approve and a second. As she mentioned, this is livability, bulking up our enforcement to a degree and ensuring livability for the citizens of our town. Any further discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously.
This first reading ordinance number 23016.
Mr. Mayor.
Yes, sir.
I'm recusing myself for the short term.
Thank you very much. Let the record show that Mr. Iacofano is recusing himself from item B, which is old business, which is final reading.
Yes, sir. Final reading on these items, the transfer of permit, enhanced parking requirements, the minimum rental requirements, the increased fees, limit on STR permits to 2, and then civil penalties in the amount of $1,000.
Move to approve. Second.
Have a motion to approve and a second. Just want to note, as it says there, the Planning Commission recommended approval, the Planning Committee recommended approval, and one item that is in here is a specifically defined family succession so that families can continue to rent their short-term rentals, which I think is a good accommodation. Is there any discussion?
I do.
Yes, sir.
Just one question about it. One of the changes is to require 24 nights and 4 separate bookings per year. Is there any sort of caveat for hardship or renovation or whatever?
Yeah, it's
Or is that a hard and fast number? Because it reads like it's a hard and fast number.
It does read that way, but Jane, who administers this program, is very good at communicating with our STR permit holders. She's already communicated with some who are doing renovations and things like that. This is really about the people who have held the permits for 3 years now and have never used it. I do think there's some discretion there for staff to have the ability to work with people who have a hardship.
Mr. Pagliari, do we need to define that they can apply for a hardship, or is that just a
Yes, sir.
staff level decision?
I mean, I believe it's in there that, there is discretion in
Okay.
this. It's not all or none.
Okay.
And it would have to be considered by staff for that. And we would request that any applicant provide it in writing, and it will be considered.
Okay.
Yeah.
Understood. Thank you.
Any other discussion? All right, all in favor of the motion to approve, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously.
Final reading ordinance number 23010.
Item 9, committee action items. There are no committee action items. Item 10, council business. Item A, new business. First is adoption of a resolution dissolving the Mount Pleasant Farmers Market Advisory Board. I don't know if
I move the resolution.
to approve
Yes, sir.
and a second. Would you like to explain it? Why we would dissolve a board, an advisory board?
This board was put together when we started the concept of the farmers market, and they have not met in quite a while. So now that it's got a process and things are running along, I think they found new purpose for this particular board.
Okay. Any other discussion? All right, all in favor of the motion to approve or to adopt this, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion is approved.
Resolution 23041.
Item 2 is a resolution authorizing a mutual aid and law enforcement agreement with the city of North Myrtle Beach.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve and a second. Would you like to elucidate on this a little bit, Chief?
I'll be happy to. We're supporting our police department. Who's been requested by North Myrtle Beach, and the same thing happens always, Chief. This is historically during Memorial Day Bike Week, and we send our units down there to assist them. They pay for room and board, and it's not just a great opportunity to work with other agencies. Our folks get some good training and good experience from this. Not to mention, it gives us another pool we can pull from if we need any assistance. And Chief, anything you'd add to that, sir? There you go.
Right. Thank you. Love to see that teamwork. Thank you, Councilman. Appreciate that. All right. Any other discussion? All in favor of adoption of item number 2, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. It is approved.
Resolution 23042.
Number 3 is first reading, which means no amendments at this time. I've spoke to that during the public hearing. There will be amendments between now and final passage. But this is first reading of the budget for the town of Mount Pleasant for the fiscal year 2024. Ms. Kotoff.
Yes, sir. On March 29th, the town administrator presented the proposed fiscal year 2024 budget. This ordinance reflects that budget. Committees of town council have reviewed the proposed budget in detail and made recommendations to the budget committee. The budget committee will meet again May 8th and will make formal recommendation back to town council prior to your second reading.
Move to approve.
Second.
All right. We have a motion to approve and we have a second, and we invite you all to attend our committee meetings, our budget committee, which is a committee of the whole of council, which will be coming up, I believe, the end of April. I can't remember which date.
We went ahead and scheduled it for your normal committee day.
Oh, okay.
Being that
Good.
there's only 3 items.
Okay. So, and we take input at all of those meetings as well. Any discussion on council? All right. All in favor of the motion to approve first reading of the budget, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
First reading ordinance number 23017.
Item number 4 is acceptance of the opioid settlement money and support of police department plan for distribution of the funds.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve.
Second.
We have a second. Any discussion? This came to the Police Judicial and Legal Committee. I believe it went to the Finance Committee as well. But
I'm happy
Councilman,
to,
yes, sir.
Mayor. This is just a great opportunity to use the settlement money we're getting back toward the opioid settlement to support Wake Up Carolina and the great work they do. As I understand from the chief and meeting I've had with them, Wake Up Carolina, this will help fund a recovery counselor. Is that a proper term, Chief? That's correct. A recovery counselor for, I believe, 5 years we're looking at. So this is going to be a great service to our community and in support of our police department.
right. And Mr. DeMore, if I understand, this is just the first part of that funding. There is more money down the road to come, as I understand, of the settlement.
That's correct. This is the first big chunk, and there's other opportunities potentially for some grant funds.
Okay. All right.
Mayor, the town will be opting into another proposed settlement. Those funds, it'll be a larger amount. That's the expectation. It'll be paid over a number of years, though. more like 15 years. So we can expect that, and you'll hear about that probably in the next 60 days.
Sounds good. Any further discussion from council? All right, all in favor of the motion to approve, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion is approved. Item B is old business. There are no council old business items. Item 11 is to adjourn. We haven't been here very long tonight. It might be a record. If council wants to stay a while, we can do that. Oh, okay. All right. There being no further business before this council and our agenda is complete, this council meeting is adjourned.
Set a record.
Gotta be.